You know how to take and edit a great photo, but sometimes when you're out at the shoot, you can get so distracted and there's so many pieces going on, especially if you have models and products and a client and a photographer and a ton of different things. A shot list is going to help you narrow that down and ensure that you don't get back to your computer and go, ah, crap, I'm missing a piece of content that is really crucial to the story that I wanted to tell in the coming month. Sometimes you need different images. They could have a different resolution, whether you're using them for print or digital. Sometimes you need it to be landscape versus portrait for the way that you're placing it on a different piece of collateral. This is really important so that you are, one, saving time, money, and resources, but also so that you get back and you have a plethora of beautiful images to choose from to make sure that your storytelling comes across exactly as you want it to. If you want more tips and tricks about how to keep your small or medium business flowing along, make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so you get a notification every single time I put out a new video. So writing a shot list is absolutely imperative to saving yourself that time like we spoke about, but you can do it any damn way you want to. I've seen this done in spreadsheets. I've seen it done in, whether you're using Trello or another organization thing to keep your team all on the same page. It doesn't matter how you do it. It just matters that you include 3 very crucial points. 1, what the shot is of and what the product is that it's featuring. 2, who's involved and who's in charge of that. And also 3, the time frame in which you expect those shots to be taken. Let's jump into it. The first thing we're gonna do, like I always say at the beginning of any marketing initiative, what is your main goal? Highlight that. So we're gonna highlight your main goal so that we can understand what are these pictures even used for? What story are they telling? What are they selling? What are they trying to get across or, invoke the audience to actually do? So when we can start with the goal, it makes us a lot easier to work backwards and figure out what we actually need to shoot. Creativity is a wonderful thing, but we have to remember this is marketing and there has to be an outcome to what we're doing and putting out into the world. The second thing you're gonna do is refer to your upcoming content calendar. So whether that's from social to blog to anything you're putting out on your website, maybe something new, maybe you have some flyers that are going out that you need to be working with. Anything that you're putting out in the content world, make sure that you're referring to that content calendar and then again, work backwards from there. I do have a video on how to build a content calendar. It's a great resource for just putting your thoughts out in right in front of you into black and white. I work way better with a list and something visual in front of me, and I assume you will too. It's just a great way to kind of work backwards and be like, okay, what holidays, events, promotions, anything that's going on so we can make sure we really get the content and visuals we need for those initiatives. The third thing you're gonna do is break it down into categories. This is really gonna help you save time. Now, depending on what your shoot is, that could be different things. Maybe it's a certain location because you're not gonna bounce between 2 different places. Maybe it's a certain outfit or a certain model. Say you have, the kids line coming in first and then the women's. Obviously, you're gonna separate those 2 and not bounce back and forth. Or maybe you're in the same place with both of those and it does make sense to bounce back and forth as someone's getting changed. So it really is gonna depend on what your biggest time wasting things are and put those as your main categories. The fourth thing you're gonna do is break those giant categories into some subcategories. Now this is when it gets a little bit more detailed. So you might talk about a specific outfit, you might talk about a specific product, you might talk about close-ups, moving back, all that kind of stuff, and what you exactly want to see from each of those shots. Is it a lifestyle shot or is it just a straight to camera, this is the sweater in black sort of thing? It's a completely different vibe, right? So make sure you're really digging into what you want those shots to look like for each of those categories. The fifth thing you're gonna do is within those subcategories, write down the specifics of the shots. Where are they gonna be placed? What resolution do you need these shots in? Are you using a wide lens, closer up? All those things that will actually save you so much time because you can say, oh wait, we got the shot of the dress, but we didn't get the bracelet. And you can zoom in and kind of get the bracelet. Or maybe it's a product shot where you want to have it next to a price tag versus not next to a price tag. Maybe you need a little spot where you're putting like a green box that will have some animation on it later with a green screen. This is a great opportunity for you to make sure all those little details are done. So when you're actually there, present with models, products, and photographers, you're just cruising through a list and it's easy peasy. You know what pieces you need. You know what props you need. Which brings me to my next point. Make sure that you have written out a list of every single prop that you need. Further to an actual shoot and the products that you're shooting, there's always props. Maybe there's a coffee cup. Maybe there's some florals or foliage that you need to put into the picture. Maybe there's a backdrop that you need to be using. This is a great opportunity for you to sort of create what you want those images to look like before actually bringing them to life. Step 7 is to make sure that you've broken down time frames. Now, this is where I often see shoots go awry because the first 2 to 3 shots are, everyone's really excited, you're getting set up, and those take up half of the shoot. We need to make sure that we're sticking to a timeline. And even if you can have bend with it a little bit, you really want to make sure, look, we're spending, most of our business is based off of women's apparel. Well, then you should be spending most of your time shooting women's apparel. Again, that goes back to point number 1, always start with the goal. But I guess my point here is that you can always be a little flexible with your time, but you want to make sure that if you are only supposed to designate 10% of your business or your time to shooting accessories, for example, then make sure that that's what you're doing. We want this all to align and make sense, and make sure that your content isn't coming out with, you only carry 10% accessories and half of your feed is sunglasses. It just doesn't make sense. So making sure that we're really allocating proportionately to what our business goals, products, and, things are. That makes more sense. Kind of. My rule of thumb here is to always leave yourself 20 to 30% more time than you think you need. Don't tell that to your photographer. No offense back there, Megan, but it's always good to kind of put in a little bit of a buffer. Travel happens, shirts get ripped, kids spill on themselves, products tip over. There's always room for error. So make sure that you've kind of given yourself that buffer, because there's nothing worse to getting down to 30 minutes in a shoot and being like, oh crap, we have half of a shoot to cram into 30 minutes, and then leaving there with not the images that you want, all that other stuff, and going back to kind of the problem that we're literally trying to solve with this shot list. Number 8, before you even get to the shoot, have everything packed, organized, hung up, steamed, whatever you need to do to make your products look the best. That's what you need to have ahead of time. If you know how you're accessorizing an outfit, put everything on a hanger together with a little Ziploc bag with the accessories. If you need to make sure that the products are cleaned up and whatever, do that ahead of time. There's nothing worse than wasting time when you have 10 people working on a project, or even when it's 2. There's nothing worse than wasting time on something you could have done ahead of time with just one body. Lastly, you're also gonna pack an emergency kit. And I don't mean Band-Aids, I mean scissors, tape, something to spray and clean with, anything that you think could go wrong. Basically, I want you to think risk management here and work backwards and be like, hey, this is everything I need to have with me on set. That way you can get there, shoot everything, pull shirts back, make whatever you need to do to make everything just come to life and make that creation and creativity that you've poured into this shot list come to life and give you the results that you're after. From that point on, your shoot should run pretty smoothly. I mean, if we can take out the anticipated things that could go wrong, then things will just be a little bit smoother. There's always room for error, of course, but this way we're going in, we're actually getting in there, and you can actually be creative in the shots as opposed to kind of winging it and flying by the seat of your pants. I'm a firm believer in measuring twice and cutting once, and this is a great way to mitigate any risk and challenges that you may face with a lot of money and time on the line. I hope that helped you out, and that last week, or a couple weeks ago, anyways, video about how to take the perfect picture also helped you out, and that you're starting to kind of get a groove and some structure around how you're building your creative. Again, we really want to be forward thinking and anticipating the things that can go on so that we can make sure that we come back to our desks and aren't just staring blankly. All of these videos that I'm putting out hopefully will help you save time, be more organized, and enjoy doing marketing. I love putting together a content calendar. I love putting together a shot list because it takes off that weight of, oh crap, what are we doing when you're in the moment? And it allows you to actually enjoy what you're doing. And honestly, shoots are fun. That should be the part of your job that you drives you and gets you excited. So I hope that this helps you really enjoy what you're doing on the marketing side. I would love if you could subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to make sure you get those notifications. And if this video was helpful, please do give me a thumbs up. It helps me understand what content people are looking for more of. Leave me a comment with any questions that you may have. I love connecting with people on here, and honestly, the community is awesome. You're dealing with a bunch of people in marketing, and they're trying to market things that they're super passionate about. So I'm loving the community that's being built, so I would love to connect with you. Chat soon.